All right, folks, welcome back to Graybeard Comics. Wow, I think that was a pretty good episode. I really thought it would be more of a filler episode, and it definitely had a lot less action, but didn't feel like a filler. It did feel like a real pretty good episode there. Now, spoilers are ahead. If you've not watched the show, I've only so far spoke pretty vague, right? If you're easily affected by some old guy talking about comic books and how a TV show is going, then back out now. If you've not watched the show, back out now. You've been warned. That was it. Spoiler alert. The show was a lot more subdued, a little less punch 'em up than the first episode. A lot more story building, although the first episode did great with story building. This is an origin story of John Walker. I feel there's going to be more to his story than what we've shown up front. And we'll probably see him getting a power-up from the Power Broker. I think his power-up will be his own choice. I think Joaquin Torres won't. I think he will be powered up. I'm making this on Friday, right after I watch the show. You know it's Friday because I'm wearing red. Folks, everyone should be wearing red on Friday because it's Remember Everyone Deployed Friday. My son's deployed right now, and until all of our sons and daughters are home from deployment, I'm going to wear red. I thought I'd start with that prediction tracker, what I've gotten right. First, the number one, Psychologist is mandatory. We know that that's right. Heck, Bucky was even arrested because he didn't go to one of those mandated psych sessions. I think we're going to have a buddy cop show. Yeah, that's definitely this episode. I think Sam will get the shield, give the shield to the government. Well, and probably in the first episode. Well, both those happened. I think we're going to see, the next one I got right, I think we're going to see a lot of Zemo in the show. Next one I got right, John will win the title of Captain America. John does have the title of Captain America. He's going to be more brutal Cap, not a bad guy per se, but a lot more rough around the edges. We saw him shoot a guy. His buddy Battlestar was kind of getting his butt kicked, so he shot the guy. I think Sharon Carter is going to be all over the show. One of the Easter eggs we found was that Agent 13 is going to be on the show for sure. I think Maditory will be in the show. Well, one of the Easter eggs that we got was that Maditory was causing problems. Also, the monkey picture, I think, is going to be maybe the logo for the bar that they keep talking about. Next, I think we're going to hear the story of Elijah Bradley and I think Isaiah Bradley, and I think next one was Elijah Bradley would make appearance. Wow, right off the get-go. And the Isaiah Bradley story kind of meshes with his son's story, and so it's kind of confusing, where he was in Nam instead of World War II. That made Isaiah a little bit younger, and even though this is his grandson Elijah, I think they just kind of meshed the two together. All right, okay. Now we're going to talk about this second episode. I'm on track to get all these, I think. All of the 30 that I predicted, I think are going to come true. Maybe. Y'all can make fun of me when I don't. But so far, out of 30, I've gotten 10, and we're only 2 episodes in. Out of the main categories, the 10 that I kind of thought I was making a top 10 prediction, and it ended up being all these subcategories. Out of those 10, I have 5 right. That's half of them. And this is only the second episode. That's crazy, man. All right. Let's run the episodes down. I'll give my first impression. I only watched the show once, so in the middle of the week I'll release a more of an Easter egg and that kind of thing. At first, when I was watching this, I really thought that Sam hopped back into the airplane, and I was kind of confused. He hops out the plane. Bucky jumps out the plane, falls. He tells him, "Hey, I got it all on video." And when he said that, it looked like he was back in the C-130. Instead, he actually was in, I think, in the construction area or whatever it was. And I thought this was interesting. Bucky kept complaining because Sam didn't have a plan. But once they got in there, Bucky didn't have a plan either. His plan was, well, those are the two bad guys. I'm going to go beat them up. And, Sam kept saying, whoa, wait. You only see two, but, with Red Wing, I can see quite a few more. And he had to keep pulling him back. I really liked that Sam didn't know that he was called White Wolf. He was very perplexed by that. He's like, oh, what are you, the White Panther now? And he's like, no, I'm White Wolf. So I wonder if that will become more his name in the future. So that's not something in the comics that I know of, but it's just interesting and a kind of funny little scene. I did like too when Sam, Bucky kind of snuck in using his ninja techniques, his assassin techniques. And when he turns around and Sam is there, it kind of shows Sam can be pretty quiet when he wants to too. And I'm sure we're going to see that in the future be something important. I did like the way that they showed the super soldiers. So them carrying big boxes around let you know that they are enhanced without saying anything. I think in the real world, that's how you would know. Same thing with Bucky, him running after those two trucks and being able to basically maybe he's doing like 50 miles an hour. That's a pretty interesting thing. And it's a good way to show that. I kind of like the new Cap, his fighting and everything. It does show that he's not a super soldier, being able to basically be slapped off the truck. I don't like that he hit this car hard enough to mess it up, but he just rolled over and kept on going. That's a tough one for me. So, whereas the other end of it is when Sam saved Bucky or saved him, grabbed him, it was tough for him because he's not a super soldier. So, well, the new Cap starts with, we know it's the big three. So the new Cap said that. And then Bucky kind of said, nah, we think it's super soldiers. I knew they were listening right then. I knew that, hey, they've got tabs on Bucky and they know what's going on there. And later we find out they tracked him via Red Wing. The whole tech is one suit, right? And I think it's probably wrong-headed to think now that Red Wing's broken and gone, that we won't still have John Walker tracking the Falcon. The same thing with the Falcon being broken. I still think that possibly that shield will turn into a Falcon-type drone. We see the Power Broker is the one that gave those Flag Smashers the power-up. And we see and then we see Isaiah and Ezekiel Bradley. I really like the way, so in the comics, Isaiah is a lot older, and Isaiah is feeble. He's feeble-minded. He's in the last stages of dementia. They barely got him out of the prison, and he's not doing good. I like that he's older but not feeble. He is still mostly in control of his faculties, it seems. He may have anger issues, and that may be something that they talk about. These new super soldiers may all have that issue. I didn't like the way I understand they're trying to show some of the racial diversity and that kind of thing. I didn't like the way the police were hassling him. It felt contrived. I mean, why would you walk down the middle of the street like that? Why wouldn't you just walk on the sidewalk? Why would, a couple of guys arguing, that doesn't really catch the attention of most police. So, I don't know. But, this is not the real world. So, if you have a warrant out for your arrest, the police don't go looking for you every time, whatever. It's not, and that warrant doesn't travel at the speed of sound. So that's, I don't know, a lot of that kind of felt weird. I like that Captain America, the new Captain America, John Walker, pulled therapy, released Bucky from jail. He really does seem to be genuinely a good guy and just rough around the edges. He's kind of a small fish in a big pond, and he has to fight above his weight. And that's going to probably be how he gets to the power broker and gets power. I think the enemy of your enemy is your friend isn't a good saying, but I think that's what will happen here. I think him and the power broker will somehow team up in order to catch the Flag Smashers. And in doing that, the power broker will give him the ability to fight on an even field with the Flag Smashers. So that's my belief. I don't know. We'll see. I liked the therapy session. It was another one kind of contrived, weird, right? The therapist wouldn't grab just random people and have couples therapy with them, but whatever. They laid out their issues. Bucky is honestly barely holding on. So he feels he's done a lot of bad things. He has done a lot of bad things. And he hung all his hopes on of redemption on Captain America. The real Captain America, Steve Rogers, is telling him that he's a good guy. And that he could stop being the Winter Soldier and be a human being again. So he feels that if Captain America was wrong about him, about Sam, then he could be wrong about him. So that's why also he feels that shield is important. That's his best friend's legacy, and they're not doing well with it. So Sam doesn't feel that he lived up to the shield. He thinks that he isn't the right person for it. But both of them don't think John Walker lives up to it either. It's interesting. So when Bucky says things are really intense for you now to John Walker, not the new Captain America, John Walker, you see the shadow go across his face. It's a pretty good acting scene there, and that he's really not holding it together. You saw him practicing in the gym before he went out there to do his little thing. So I don't know. The Flag Smashers were running from the Power Brokers people. Now, as of right now, I know the Flag Smashers are not mental giants. Neither are the Power Brokers folks. I mean, the distraction was pushing down a telephone pole and running at some guys with a bunch of guns, and that was enough to get a plane off. Those guys didn't try driving around. They just hopped out of their cars and all unloaded on the one guy. One shot would probably have put him down, and then you'd drive past him. I don't know. Seems pretty bad. Not geniuses there, guys. And then we end the episode with Baron Zemo. Wow. This easily could have been a filler. Instead, it's pretty amazing. It looks like the end credits have the same notes as what I outlined in the previous video. I'm going to go ahead and look at them, but we may just have the same thing. I was able to translate the sections in Spanish and in French, but I couldn't translate the parts in Russian, so I might work on that. Thanks, everybody. I hope you liked the episode. I hope you liked the video. If you like my take on it, go ahead and hit the like button down there. Maybe go ahead and, if you want to, subscribe. Maybe make a couple of comments. I'm very interested in what you guys have to say. And thank you much. And this has been Graybeard. Thank you much.